It is just gone 6:30 and I'm out for my morning walk. I like to go up very early and do a big lap whilst it's still very quiet. And it's such beautiful scenery that I thought I would take you along and show you what some of the prettier parts of Torquay look like. Now, this isn't really quite one of them, but it is very close to my home. My house backs onto these woods. It's a short, steep climb up to them, which is why I'm a little bit out of breath. But now it levels out. And this is the beginning of my walk. So this is Torbay around here. That's Paynton over there, and Brixham is a little bit further around. So it's a very nice boating area, very sheltered most of the time, unless it's an easterly wind, then it gets a bit choppy. Now, one game I do quite like to play is, if I had the money, what house would I buy? And there are a few on this route that definitely tick the boxes, and one of them is coming up. It's just down here. It's the one with the sunlight on the top of it, and it's just tucked back in those trees, and I reckon they've probably got some fairly spectacular harbour views from there as well. It just looks like a really classic, pretty house. The driveway to it is down there. There's a big long drive that goes up to it, and I like that one very much indeed. Come on YouTube, come on subscribers, yes! Should have my acrylic socks on, shouldn't I? Okay, here we go. So the harbour is just on the other side, where you can see that building works going on. That's a new hotel being built. Here we go. How lovely is that? Good morning, Torquay Harbour. Torquay High Street, and then just down here is the harbour. Very pleasant, very quiet, barely a soul to be seen. Okay, so this is the inner harbour, and over here you'll see why it's called the inner harbour in a minute. Stag's Estate Agency, very posh estate agency, used to be run by my friend James. He's now moved on. Hello James, if you're watching. And yeah, the harbour. Part of the harbour anyway. Now if you've watched my Q&A video, you'll know that for 20 years I was a yacht broker in Torquay. And this right ahead of us, here, was my office. It's now a Sunseeker office. And it's run by my very good friend Tom Wills. So if you're in Torquay and you want to buy a boat, come and speak to Tom. But that was it, that was my office. So it was this hexagonal building here with this fantastic view over the inner harbour, and then this part down here as well, and that's the door into it. As I say, now Sunseeker Torquay. Good morning Tom Wills, and a little bandstand up above it. Not that we ever had a band in it, but anyway, let's press on. This is a lifting bridge, which is how these boats with these masts get out of here. The whole thing lifts up. It's also a sill, so it holds the water in when the tide goes out, otherwise this whole harbour here dries out to mud. So in fact we can see the sill. It's up at the moment. Oh well, of course it's up at the minute because they're not using the harbour currently, but and this is the outer harbour. So Torquay Marina here, and then there's the Town Dock Marina, which we'll see a bit clearer over there. Let's go across the bridge. Here we go. This is my marine stamping ground. So this is Torquay Marina in here and Town Dock in here. Now the difference between these two is this is a proper 5-star, very classy and very well equipped marina. And this is the cheap seats. See if you can guess where my boat is. Now we must climb because we are at sea level, obviously. And the hill starts here. We're going right up to a headland now called Daddy Hole Plain, of all things. No, your eyes are not deceiving you. Those are in fact penguins. And this is Living Coasts. It's a sea life centre. It's basically a marine zoo. So they've got all sorts of animals and birds and things in here. I always feel a bit sorry for the birds. They're flying around with this amazing vista and they can't go over any of it because of this netting. Now notice as we go along, these little fellows here. This is the Acorn Trail, and it's a southwest coast path that takes you along the coast. Here we go, you can see one down here as well. It takes you right along the coast, pretty much right around the whole bay and a lot further, I think. I've never done the whole thing, but I've done bits of it. I'm sure if you Google it, you'll probably find the whole trail. Okay, so the views are about to start properly. Are you ready for this? Pretty lovely, eh? This is why I always look forward to this walk every morning. It's a treat. Okay, so I promised you some beautiful houses. Look at that. Look at that. And look at their view. That's on my list. Okay, when we get to 10 million subscribers, I'll go make them an offer they can't refuse. But actually, there are one or two more which I think trump that. So let's not make a decision just yet on alcoholic towers. Let's keep on going. See the harbour now coming into view. That's where we were a minute ago. Beautiful. Now up here it looks like the path goes straight on, but actually it goes left up this little thing here. We will go straight on briefly, but it's a dead end. But it is a dead end with a view. There we go, so we hook around here. Look at that. That is known as London Bridge, that archway just there. And that's Torbay in all its splendour. The sun's just coming up. You can hear the water lapping on the rocks. Beautiful. Let's press on whilst it's nice and quiet. Okay, so this time we're going to take the hole in the wall, and this is the first steep climb. And what I quite like to do is get the blood pumping a bit and hit this fairly hard, hopefully without falling over. Here we go. If I speed that up in editing, it'll make me look like a pro, won't it? Okay. Ready for more spectacularness? Check this out. More rather lovely houses with rather lovely views. That one up there, no way you can see that. That's spectacular, absolutely spectacular. Okay, so enjoy that downhill while you can. It's about to get steep again. Actually, not a little matter to you. You're watching on a screen, for goodness sake. I bet you're sat down, probably eating chocolate, drinking wine. Very wise. It is, after all, gone 7 AM. Here we go. More uphill. This is the point at which my son, when he was younger, would start to complain about the steps, but bless him, plenty more to come. And up and up. Last big push to the top. Made it. That kind of castle thing we just went through, I believe, is somebody's summer house. Okay, so this is the final little push to the headland. So up these steps, and we're on top of the world. Isn't that beautiful with the light streaming through there? Let's have a last little look at the bay. And then let's break out. Here we go. So this is Daddy Hall Plain. We could be anywhere in the world, couldn't we? We could be in Italy, in the Mediterranean, we could be out in Mallorca. There is nowhere, I don't think, that significantly beats this for beauty. I feel very blessed living here. This is one of my favourite bits, because as you cut through here you see the sun glinting on the sea, and it is just spectacular. So that silver bit you can see down through there, glistening, that's the sunlight streaming across the ripples on the water. Absolutely beautiful. If you wonder where that other path went that turned right as we turned left, well, it goes around the headland and it comes out just here. Maybe I'll do another walk with some alternative routes at some point. We'll see how much you guys like this one and how well it's received. Maybe we'll do some more. This could be a whole new thing for Aquaholic. What could we call it? Walkaholic? Walkaholic? Strollaholic? Out of breathaholic? I will think of something. Let's carry on. Now this is one of my favourite little quirky features. It's the fact they've put a walkway through a wall, but they've arched it. Obviously very, very many years ago. But it just looks so pretty. And as you walk through it, you get that view of the sea again and the sunlight. Just fantastic. Okay, another joyous downhill bit. This takes us back down to sea level, and then we walk along the coast, actually level with the sea, and then it's back uphill again. A very cardiovascular walk. That's a good expression, isn't it? But look at that. Just here is one of those places where you just have to stop just for a minute and take in the view. Are you ready for this? Check this out. There aren't the words really, are there? My glasses are steaming up, but I don't think that's the view. I think that's the sweating. I say I do like to hit the uphill bits fairly hard, get the old heart pumping, get the old cardiovascular going. This is the Osborne Hotel behind me. It's a very nice hotel. I think they've got timeshare apartments there as well, and a nice bistro actually, although I've not been there for a long time. And ahead of me is Meadfoot Beach. Pretty small at the moment because the tide is in. But it disappears completely on a high tide and reappears a lot more on a low tide. Let's go and take a look. So the next bit of the walk is going to take us all the way along here, and then we're going up around here and around that headland, and we're heading on to see what else we can find. Awesome. We are about to enter the very upmarket, the most upmarket part of Torquay, Ilsham Marine Drive. And this is where it gets seriously exclusive, and some very, very nice properties about the place. And the views up here also well worth seeing. Okay, so a quick recap. This is where we've just come from. That headland right up there, in fact a little bit further round, is Daddy Hole Plain. That's that high area we were on, and we came down past that hotel, down through those woods there and out onto the road. That was where we stopped to look at the view, and then all the way along here and round and up here. Now through here is one of those funny little places that sticks in the mind from childhood, because when I were a lad, a small lad, a wee lad, my father used to bring me and my sister here, I seem to recall, and we used to have a little kick around with the football. I've no idea what this thing actually is, but it's just this sort of stonework around here. I guess it's part of a garden or something. Once upon a time, it's all public now of course, but it's a funny little place. I don't know why that particular memory sticks in the mind, but it does for some reason. There's a, well, you can see that, there we go. This is a big green that comes down here, and it comes down to Thatcher's Rock. Nothing to do with Margaret Thatcher, I hasten to add, but yeah, beautiful place. There we go, you can see it a bit better here. There we go. And if we head down here, there's Thatcher's Rock just appearing above the trees. Now this is pretty stunning. Look at that. At this time of the morning, we had this place completely to ourselves. Let's go right out onto the headland. Now that, my friends, is a view. Now, I promised you some beautiful houses. What I'm going to show you now, I think, is the best house in Torbay. When Aquaholic is bigger than Google, I'm going to make these guys an offer they can't refuse, and it's this one up on the hill just here. This is their lawns coming right down to the water's edge. It is magnificent. Just a beautiful home. We'll walk around the back of that in a moment and I'll show you it a little bit closer up. So I'm not going to invade anybody's privacy. I'm just going to show you what you can see from the public domain. But it is a stunning, stunning place, and it owns all of this. My good friend John always says you need enough room for a fag, a fart and a bonfire. And you've certainly got that there, haven't you? Let's press on a bit further. Okay, we're back out onto the road, and me panting from the uphill bit a little bit. Sorry about that. But I do have one or two more gorgeous places to show you. Look at these. And of course these will have the sea view, because they're looking out there. And that is the garden of that house that I was mentioning when we were down on the headland. It's just around this corner. And as I mentioned earlier, I'm not going to invade anybody's privacy and zoom in or hold the camera up over a hedge or a wall, but I am going to show you just what anyone can see when they're just walking past, which is, these are the gates, and there's a beautiful driveway that heads down through the trees, and the house is rather discreetly tucked away just there. Not much you can see of that, but as I say, I'm certainly not going to zoom in on it. But I think that's probably the best house in Torbay. It's amazing. I could hold the camera over the wall and show you a bit more, but I don't think that would be polite. So I'll show you what anybody can see as they stroll past. Look at that view. Look at that view they've got. Unbelievable. And then again you can see their spectacular lawns going down right to the water's edge from just the other side of these trees. Here we go. Pretty cool, huh? I would build that up a little bit and make it level, just in one area, basically, so that I had room to park my helicopter. Hey, if you're going to dream big, right? That's what this channel's all about. A few more spectacular houses tucked away up here. This one I really like. I'm not sure if that one's just been built. There seems to be a bit of work going on to it. And it looks pretty new. But I very much like the style of it. Awesome. They're all awesome up here. And they all look out over that. Right. We're going to go up here now. It's a stunning little road, isn't it? Up onto this path, and this is going to take us up to a whole new vista just round this corner. So that's another steepish climb, as you can probably tell by the fact I'm out of breath, and I might have to start making oxygen choices. That's a line from a film. The Secret Life of Walter Mitty. Watch it, trust me, it's brilliant. In the meantime, check this out. This is Lime Bay. Little bench down here, and every time I walk past it in the morning, which I do most mornings, depending which route I take, I promise myself that when this lockdown is over, I'm going to bring Marianne here and a bit of breakfast, and we're going to sit just here early in the morning, like 7 in the morning, something like that, and watch the sun coming around with that as our view. I'm looking forward to that, Marianne. I love you. This is Ultram, very posh area. I'm surprised they let the likes of me in. I guess I'm okay as long as I don't stop. That's probably when they start shooting. This place always tickles me because the driveway is so epic you can't actually see the house. I think you can just see the top of it. Look at that. Imagine having a driveway so long that you can't actually see the house on the end of it. If that was my house, I'm afraid I'd have to start seeing how much speed I could get up to up the driveway and then stop before I hit the garage, and eventually you just know that's going to go wrong, isn't it? So this is Ultram Valley. Here we go. You can see the sea right down there. That's where we walked along, right in the distance. And then there's this park that comes up through here. There's beautiful houses around the edge of it. And it is just stunning. Another of my favourite houses, actually, is just down through this gap here. Yeah. That one just there is beautiful, right on the edge of that park. Maybe one day. Please keep watching the videos, please keep enjoying the adverts, and maybe you can one day get me into the style to which I would like to become accustomed. That's an interesting house. I don't know if you can see it, but it's got like wood cladding on the side of it. That's rather smart. Okay, we're out onto another plain, another park. I'm not quite sure what you would call it. But, we are heading towards Babbacombe now, and popular with dog walkers, as you can see, but plenty of room to keep our distance. So we're all good. Plus it's still pretty early in the morning, so not many people out and about, apart from dog walkers. We'll go this way. Another lovely house set back in the woods over there. Now you may be wondering what this strip here is. It's not concrete, it's quite sort of soft material. Well, no idea. Answers in the comments, please. Now I hope you'll agree that we have seen some pretty spectacular scenery. Well, it is about to get even spectacular, because over here, past all these donuts where the boy racers have been making a nuisance of themselves, well done chaps, there's more epic views. And now this is not normally part of my walk. I normally head off up this road here and on round, but you can walk right down to sea level, and I think we're going to do it because it's beautiful down there and I would like to show it to you. So we are going to go through here. This is where we're going, down to look at that view a bit better, and this is how we do it. It's an easy walk down, it's a steep climb back up, so I hope you appreciate the sacrifices I'm making. Here we go. Now our next port of call is that headland up there, more climbing. It does keep me fit, this route. There we go. Worth it though, I think, for that. Now, would you believe me if I said we're not done with the amazing vistas and the astonishing views just yet? Because we're not. And you can see, actually, if you look, we're still on this Acorn Trail. See that little further just there? So more uphill, I'm afraid, but some spectacular views at the top. So let's do it. Now, we've been suffering a little bit around this area for some while with landslides, or cliff slides I suppose you could say, because it's right on the edge of the cliffs. And we are right on the edge of the cliffs, which is why whenever I walk up this little bit here, and I say this big crack here opening up, I don't linger. Yep, we're up there, let's keep going. And this is Barbican Downs. Again, popular spot with the dog walkers. Now, the interesting thing about this place is that because it's up high, you can see right up on top of the cliffs here now, it's a great place to catch some wind. And many years ago, me and my brother-in-law Paul, hello Paul, I know Paul likes this channel and watches the videos. In fact, hello Adele, hello Immy, hello Henry, still can't believe you're old enough to drive. Me and my brother-in-law Paul used to come up here and fly kites, and one of the things that I think that this lockdown has brought home is all the things we used to do and we've let slip, and you know, when you can't do them anymore, you realise that perhaps you should. So Paul, when this lockdown is over, I'm going to buy myself a new stunt kite and we'll come up here and we'll fly it together, and that'll be something to look forward to. But in the meantime, I'm on my own and I'm enjoying this view. Social distancing at all times. Hello doggy! Hello doggy! That's a cute doggy. No, don't come through now. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you. Okay, so I promised you more view. Check this out. This is Lime Bay. And it's a little bit hazy today, but when it's clear you can see right round to Portland Bill, which I guess must be about 30 miles in that direction, something like that. Look at that. That is a boating playground, isn't it? One day soon, one day soon. In the meantime, we've got to stick by the rules, we've got to stay safe. Let's press on a bit further. There's an even better view of this, believe it or not. So we're going to head right over the downs and along to Babbacombe Downs. I think this is called Walls Hill. I think I'm right in saying Babbacombe Downs is just a little bit further around. I should get my geography right. And yeah, even more spectacular views there. Hard to believe, I know. So where we're coming to now is Babbacombe Downs, and this I think is arguably the best view of this whole walk. It makes it all worthwhile. And what I think I'm going to do is keep the camera pointed away from the view just for a minute so that we can do a big reveal. This is worth seeing. Okay, are you ready for this? Check this out. So that's about it. That's my early morning exercise walk along the coast path of Torquay. All that remains now is to head back through this way, and that takes me back into the urban area, back through the woods and back to my house. Anyway, that's it. That's the tour. Let me know what you think in the comments. Should I do more of these? And I hope you've enjoyed Torquay. Right, back to another day of isolation. I do hope you're all keeping safe. I do hope you're all keeping well. And I look forward to bringing you plenty more videos, hopefully. You take care of yourselves. Cheers. Bye-bye.